So recently, a viewer of the channel asked me how he could get back into football shape after falling off for a few months. Now, I'm pretty sure we've all been there, whether it's injury, whether it's you've been enjoying your off season too much, or whether it's just you just flat out just fell off from football altogether. So today I'm going to be talking about how to get back into football shape after falling off, after, maybe you've gained extra weight, maybe you're just not in condition, maybe you've gone to play your first football match, or you've had your first training session in a while and you just feel off the pace, you don't feel fit, you don't feel match sharp at all. So today I'm going to teach you how to get back into full match sharpness, full match fitness in the quickest way possible. So first of all, if you're one of those guys where during this period, maybe like I said, you've been injured, or you've simply just fallen off your football training, your football matches, just playing football altogether. If you're one of them guys who you've gained a lot of weight, you know what I'm saying, you've been eating, you've been on the couch eating, Uber Eats, Deliveroo. Hey, we've all been there, you know what I'm saying? We've all had a period where we've just been eating and we've just fallen off. Let's say you've actually gained a significant amount of weight. Maybe it's not even significant. Let's say 3 kg, 4 kg, 5 kg, and it's visible. You can see, you know what I'm saying? You can see your belly bulging a little bit. You can sort of see the fat on your face and you're just thinking, nah, this ain't it, you know what I'm saying? And then you go to play football. Maybe it's you go for individual training or you go back to your team training sessions and you can tell you're off the pace, you know what I'm saying? You can tell you're off the pace. You put on your shirt, you put on your training shirt, and it's a bit tight. It's tighter than it used to be, you understand? So if you're one of these guys who you feel like you've definitely gained some weight, I would recommend first of all, maybe for about 2 to 3 weeks, just simply focus on sort of dropping that weight, dropping that 2 kg, dropping that 3 kg, 4, 5 kg, you understand? Obviously it's not going to happen in 2-3 weeks, you know what I'm saying? But just have that period of just focusing on simply dropping weight. So I'd say, just focus on going for runs, just your 5k runs, because obviously your base fitness, you've lost your base fitness. So in my opinion, go on those 5k runs to recover your base fitness. It's gonna take time for you to get back to your full fitness, but go on those 5k runs to build that base back up, you understand? I've said it before, but in my opinion, you shouldn't be doing 5ks all the time as a footballer. 5ks and long distance running is just to build that base. If you feel like your base is well below average, then you should be going on 5ks, you understand? Do that for, in my opinion, for 2 to 3 weeks, 3 times a week, you understand? And then move on into sprint training, high intensity interval training, you understand? So this could be sprints, this could be suicides, this could be shuttle runs, even the bleep test, if the bleep test counts as high intensity interval training, you understand? I'd say do that for another maybe 1 to 2 weeks. Obviously you're still playing football in between this as well, but focus on that. Like I said, for another 1 to 2 weeks, do your HIIT training 1 to 2 weeks, 3 times a week, you know what I'm saying? So altogether that's probably like 5 or 6 weeks where you're really just focused on locking back in, getting your fitness back up to par, you understand? And then obviously you have to focus on your football training, mainly your technical training. So I'd say literally after the 5 to 6 week period, just lock in on just getting back into your technical training, working on your first touch, working on your passing, but make sure the training sessions are intense, because although you're working on your technicals, you still want to be getting back into match sharpness, match fitness at the same time as working on your technicals, you understand? Because as we all know, going on 5k runs, going on long distance runs, however long it is, going on those 3k, 5ks, 10ks, it's a completely different type of fitness to football fitness, you understand? I've seen so many guys come in, maybe it's the start of pre-season, maybe they've joined the team that I've been on, they're a new player, and they're saying, oh, alright, cool. They come in, they think they're so fit, they think that, alright, cool, I've been doing my 3ks, my 5ks, my 10ks. They tell everyone, I've been going on runs every single day. And then as soon as the training starts, as soon as we get into those technical training sessions, maybe we're doing small-sided games, maybe we're doing possession, maybe we're doing attack versus defense. They're they're bending down, hands on knees, you understand? Pause, but hands on knees, and they're just absolutely shattered, and they're thinking to themselves, why am I so tired? I went on runs all summer, you know what I'm saying? All off season I was going on 3ks, 5ks. Why am I so shattered? And it's simply because they just haven't been playing football. It's a different type of fitness, You're changing directions all the time. 1 minute you're at a low intensity, 1 minute you could be walking, the next minute you could be slow jogging, then it's into a fast jog, then it's into a sprint, then it's into a change of direction. Maybe you have to change direction twice. 1 minute your team's attacking, then you have to get back for the counter attack to go back and defend. It's just a completely different type of fitness, you understand? So if you've fallen off in terms of you're not in football shape, I'd say please focus on, you know, actually playing football. Just because I said at the start of the vid, you know, to go on your 5k runs and then do your sprint training, don't neglect the technical training as well. Don't neglect, you know, going to your team training sessions or doing your individual training sessions. Or maybe you get a group of friends and you do small sided games, maybe 3 times a week, you understand, 2-3 times a week you do small sided games, because that's ultimately going to bring back the fitness. That's the most match realistic way to get your football fitness back up. Because I've seen guys who are overweight, I've seen guys who are, they're looking 5 kg, 6 kg overweight. Especially when you get into men's football, you're going to see guys who look overweight. You look at them and you'll be like, yo, this brother don't even look fit, like he ain't know nothing. But then trust me, he's up and down that football pitch, you understand, simply because he's just been playing football. Like his body's just got used to, you know, the football fitness. Yeah, he's overweight. Can he lose? Would he be even better if he lost weight? Sure, but he's still effective. He can still get up and down that football pitch, you understand. And he hasn't even been going on 3k runs, 5k runs. He's not doing any of that. He's simply just playing football consistently, whether that's 3, 4, 5 times a week. And his body's just sort of adapted to, you know, playing at a match intensity. And that's what you need to do. Because like I said, your body's not going to adapt to that match intensity by just doing 5k runs, 3k runs. It's not the same, you understand. A 3k run, you could just be jogging, going through the motions. There's no real intensity, there's no real purpose. Whereas in football, like I just said, it's, you know, you're defending one moment, you're attacking one moment, you have to change directions all the time. You know, one minute you're going in for a challenge, the next minute the ball's gone out for a throw-in, then you have to go, you know, go to the ball to receive the throw-in. You know, your teammate throws it to you, you pass it back, the ball gets switched over to the other side, then you have to sort of have to go to the other side, create an option, or you run into the box in case your winger crosses the ball, you understand. It's just so many different scenarios, so many different aspects of the game, to the point where it's like, yo, a 5k, a 3k, it's just not realistic, you understand. You're not really going to build pure match intensity, pure match fitness by just doing 3Ks and 5Ks. Football is just a completely different animal in terms of your fitness. So yeah, literally in my opinion, start off with those 2-3 weeks, build that base fitness back up. If you've really fallen off, maybe you've gained some weight, build that base fitness back up by going on your long runs. Then another 2 weeks, I'd say, focus on those sprint training sessions, those high intensity interval training sessions, like your shuttle runs, like your suicides, like your bleep tests. Obviously do each of these 3 times a week, and then after that, as soon as you feel like you've got up to a decent base level of fitness, then you really focus on, you know, your technical training. You know, whether it's you by yourself, you're focused on your dribbling, but you're doing it at an intense pace. You're dribbling, you're passing, you're doing some shooting drills, maybe you're combining drills at the same time, maybe you're with a training partner, you're doing 1v1s, you know, really going at each other at match pace. Maybe it's, like I said, you call your friends, you do small sided games at an intense level. That's really gonna improve your match fitness as well. Then you go back into your team training sessions, and obviously going back into your team training sessions, having that competition, having to really push yourself and compete against your teammates, the same teammates who you're competing for a starting 11 place. Yo, that's obviously going to bring you back into match sharpness, so that when it's inevitably time for you to get back onto the pitch on the match day, you're going to be ready, understand? You're going to be ready, you're going to have no issues with your fitness. So that's literally how you get back into match shape, match fitness 100% in the quickest time possible, you understand? That's basically how you do it. Start off with building your base, then go into high intensity interval training, and then prioritize the technicals, intense individual training sessions, team training sessions, and then calling people to do, you know, one-to-one training sessions or group training sessions where you're doing intense small-sided games. But that's the video for today. Let me know in the comments what other videos you want to see from me. I hope you enjoyed. I've been JT, and I'm out.